Wassup Agents, Epic Slayers here, welcome back to a brand new Division video. Today I want to go over my top 5 quality of life improvements going into year 3 of the Division. If you agree with my choices, then drop a like on the video, it really does help me out. And also, if you want to get involved, then please leave a comment down below with your top 5 quality of life improvements. With that said, let's get into the video. So agents, the first one I want to talk about, and the first one on my list, is Loadouts. Now currently there are 6 loadout slots, so you can create 6 different types of builds, save them and switch between them however you like, PvP, PvE, whatever. But there are currently 14 gear sets in the game, classified gear sets in the game, which means there are 14 6-piece gear sets. So obviously only having 6 loadouts in general doesn't even meet the 6 pieces of all those gear sets, let alone the vast majority of endless builds that you can create, like ninja bike and whatever high-end builds, whatever you want to make. So in my opinion, 6 slots is not nearly enough. So what I think they need to do is increase this by double, maybe triple, up to 12, 18. I'm not entirely sure what would be a good number, but of course what they will need to do as well with that is they'll need to make it so that the UI is also in a good place and you're not scrolling down the page for an hour like the inventory system. So I do think loadouts is one of the top ones that needs to be addressed, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me on that one. So the second one I want to talk about has been asked for in the community for some time now, and I don't know why they haven't implemented this one yet, and that is exotic weapons that are being sold at a vendor not being included in the loot pool. I mean, it doesn't make sense that you can go and buy a Historian, or you can go and buy a Cassidy or a Pecan or a Liberator or a Centurion, whatever it is, whatever exotic it is. It doesn't make sense that those would then be included in the loot pool, diminishing your chance of getting something like the house or something that's not sold in those vendors. This has been around for a very long time, and I don't really know why they haven't implemented this yet. I mean, the counter argument is, but what about if I want a Historian with different talents? Well, I mean, the talents on those vendor sold weapons change every week, so every week you're getting that chance, but it doesn't make sense to include at least those 6 weapons in that loot pool and diminishing your chance of getting, especially new weapons like the House or the big Alejandro or the Devil in the Heel, the new marksman rifles. So I think that's something that needs to be addressed, and I think that's a really important quality of life change that we need. Next on my list is inventory usability, which has been a problem in the game since day one, pretty much, but it's been even more problem now that we've got so much gear in the game and we can get so many different varieties of gear and whatever, that 150 spaces in your stash, A, is not enough, and B, is really annoying to have to scroll all the way down the screen to actually find the gear that you want. Now I know they have the quick nav button which allows you to go to different parts of that inventory, like if you wanted to go to the masks or the holsters or whatever, but you still then have to scroll down. Now I don't really want to refer to Destiny, but Destiny has like a vault system where you can see everything in a screen, and obviously you can compare pieces very well, and it works well. I mean, they've always had a problem with how much is in there, but it works well. Now, I'd like to see something similar to that in the Division. I think that would be really cool, unless, of course, you guys, who are probably a lot smarter with this sort of thing than me, have any suggestions on how they can actually improve the inventory usability, because there's nothing worse than going into inventory to find certain gear and it taking you an hour to sort everything out. It's really frustrating, and I thought it would be something that they would have fixed by now, and I'm hoping that they can do that in the future, because I think that would make a massive difference for this game. Moving on to number 4 on my list, and I know a lot of you people who are into the fashion on this game will certainly agree with me here. So at the moment we have obviously our vanity slots, which you can go in, change all your vanity pieces and look as cool or as uncool as you'd like. But for me personally, I think there needs to be some sort of custom vanity loadout. Similar to how we have the gear loadouts, there should be something for vanity items as well, because I personally have a couple of sets of sort of vanity items that work well together, and I like to change them up every now and then. But I would change them up a lot more often if I didn't have to go in and change every single piece, remember every single piece. If I could just go in and switch it, a lot like how we have the loadouts in gear, then that would be great. And I think a lot of you agents will agree with me here. Now, vanity items aren't the be-all and end-all in this game, obviously, but it does make a difference. So I think that's a good quality of life change that Massive can implement in, upcoming updates. Now, the last one is been a pet peeve of mine for a very long time, and I know a lot of you are going to thumbs me up for this one. So at the moment, if a performance mod is dropped by an NPC and you go over to that performance mod, you don't actually know what it is until you've picked it up, which is really frustrating. You should be able to inspect it, see what it is, and then decide whether you'd want to keep it or not. Now, I'm pretty sure it's a very easy change, but it's just one that Massive have never got round to, and I do not see why. I mean, this is another thing that's been in the community for some time, just a quality of life change. I actually think, in general, the information you get when you inspect a weapon or a mod or whatever it might be needs to be more detailed. Maybe you could inspect a weapon and compare it to the weapon you currently hold, just to see if it's any better or not, without having to actually pick the weapon up and then check it on the menu screen. So that's just, again, another pet peeve of mine, and another quality of life change for me at least, that would make it a massive difference. I'm sure a lot of you guys will appreciate that, because I've seen a lot of comments about this in the game, and I'm not sure as to why they've never actually got around to changing this. But hey ho, we'll have to see if they include that in future updates. There you go, agents. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Now, I realise there's probably a lot more quality of life improvements in this game, certainly, and it was actually quite difficult for me to create a top 5, because I could have had a top 50, definitely. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have your own experiences of what you'd like to see, so please contribute, leave a comment below with your top 5 and let me know, so I can see what you guys want to see in future updates for quality of life improvements. With that said, thank you for all your support, and until the next one, Epic out.